folks, welcome to the channel. Thought I'd just do a quick little update here on the overhead panel frame. As you can see, I've got kind of the most of the frame structure itself done. Just kind of recap what we did. First we built out the outer frame. This was that angle kind of bracket thing I had got to help with these outer pieces here. You know, I was able to get it down to the angle I needed, clamp everything in place, and I could use that to get all that stuff glued in as I needed it. So once I got the outer frame done, I filled up all of the inside with some spare wood and laid out the panel so I could put this horizontal brace in first. And I've got that sitting just right at the bottom of the panels where the light backboard will just kind of sit on there, so it'll give that some support too. That's wood glued and got some pocket screws. There's one on each side. And then after I got that, then it was just doing one beam at a time. Same thing, I lined up all the frames out, kind of found where the middle spot was going to be, clamped all these in, and I would use some spare pieces of wood as kind of brackets, I guess, to help me when I took the wood out to put the glue on and do exactly where it had to go in. So I did that, clamped those in with some corner clamps, these guys here, and once everything was clamped in, I did a pocket screw on either side and let those sit for 24 hours pretty much till the next day when I would come in and do the next one. So it took a couple days to get all the frame in, because it was pretty much do one, wait a day, do the next one, wait a day, and that's where that's at. I do want to put in like a little support here and somewhere around here, but I'm waiting until I get all of my switches in so I can make sure that those pieces won't interfere with where the switches are going to go. So main thing to do now I want to do is the back panel and kind of the support stand fork, because they're going to kind of go hand in hand. And the idea that I was thinking of doing right now is, for the back panel, I was probably going to get some hinges. I'm kind of do an example here. These are just some stuff I had lying around, so I'm going to get some kind of longer hinges and do probably 3 hinges, one on the either end, one in the middle, and these would just kind of go in like so, and that way the back panel, I can open this up. This is where all the electronics would go. Turn this a little bit. So I was going to mount all the electronics on the inside of the back panel, and maybe some backlighting. That's the next thing I've got to figure out. Once I get the back panel in, I'm kind of deciding how to do the backlighting on it. But it can fold in and sit within inside the frame. And you know, one of the reasons I went with the 3.5 inches was that the deepest gauge I had was like right under 3.25, so it would just clear the gauge. As long as I don't have any of the circuit, you know, the open cockpit boards or their master cards where that particular gauge is, everything will sit flush on the inside, you know, and that gives me about 2 inches, 2.5 inches or so of space in some spots for cable management and stuff like that. So along with the hinges on the back, I was also going to do either 2 or 4. I was going to get like some little blocks of wood, attach them to the side with some wood glue and some screws, and put in a threaded insert. And that way the lid can close, and it would basically, I'd bolt that down. And the back panel essentially is going to become the support for the whole frame, because kind of the idea I'm thinking of right now is, on my desk, I got the monitor, so I need to build a stand to go up behind the monitor and then over it. So, as this is sort of an example, that I would have some sort of vertical brace going up with some legs in the bottom to clamp to the desk, and probably like this is a 2x4, maybe a 2x3 or something, and I would just put in between these two, there's going to be a couple spacers, and this would just be secured out at the angle I need the overhead. Then on the back of the panel, I would put basically a U-shaped box right in the middle, or two of them probably, that the 2x4 would just sort of slide into. So and that way, if I need to remove it for any reason, people coming over the house or I got to work on it or something, I can essentially just slide it off of that stand and bring it in, and when I use it I can slide it back on, and maybe have a bolt or something that locks it into there. Right now I'm thinking about building that stand with wood. I could maybe do some metal on it instead, using some like aluminum or steel square tubing you can buy. I've done that before with other projects in the past, just from onlinemetals.com buying some stuff. So maybe to cut down on some of the weight, instead of using these big old 2x4s or 2x3s. Right now the frame as it is weighs right a little over 5 pounds, so not too heavy. I was actually expecting it to be a little bit more with all the wood, but it's not too bad. So it's going to be, so that's kind of what I'm going to be working on. I got to go get a piece of wood, probably like a 4x4, because I don't have any left, and pretty much just trace out the frame, cut it, and that way it will sit flush inside of it. Pick up those hinges, and then once I get that backing on, then I can kind of start figuring out how I'm going to do that bracing. So I want to try and get all of that built and situated before I start attaching the panels and everything, and that way it's all, that aspect is all done. So switches I'll probably have in about a week or so. I know they shipped yesterday from All Electronics. I did order all of the Deza screws from PC Flice. I bought the wood screw versions just so I can go straight into the wood instead of having to drill holes and use the nuts and bolts. Just a lot easier, and I think the wood screws would work fine. And so that's pretty much it for now. But this actually came out pretty good, and everything sits on it well. So hopefully everything works toward the end. So all right, well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.